There is one truth that levels kings and beggars, saints and sinners. One truth that every Stoic, philosopher, warrior, and seeker has faced. Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. It may sound dark, but in truth, it is the most powerful message life can offer. Because when you remember that you must die, you begin to truly live. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now fully and awake. The Stoics weren't obsessed with death. They were obsessed with not wasting life. So, in the next few minutes, we won't talk about death to grieve it, but to understand its gift. Because when we accept the end, we finally understand how to begin. 1. The illusion of endless time. We all walk around with a silent lie in our minds. There's still time. I'll do it later. When I feel ready, then I'll start. But what if later never comes? Most of us live as if we have all the time in the world. And that belief is the greatest trap. The Roman emperor and Stoic Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Imagine living each day knowing it could be your last, not with fear, but with clarity. How would you treat your loved ones? Would you still procrastinate? Would you still waste hours worrying about things that don't matter? You see, we're not promised decades. We're barely promised the next day. And that's not a curse, it's a gift. Because when you stop pretending you'll live forever, you start living like you mean it. 2. Death isn't the enemy. Fear is. In ancient Rome, victorious generals were followed by a slave who whispered, "Memento Mori." Remember, you are mortal. It wasn't meant to bring them down. It was meant to keep them grounded. The truth is, facing death is not morbid. Hiding from it is. We fear death only when we refuse to understand it. But when we look it in the eye, it becomes our ally, not our enemy. Seneca said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." Because when you fear death, you play small. You hesitate. You hold back. You wait for the right time, as if time is on your side. But when you face death, really face it, you become bolder, calmer, more alive. The fear fades, and in its place comes courage. Not because you're ignoring death, but because you're walking beside it, fully awake. 3. Death makes life urgent. Have you ever lost someone suddenly? Had a health scare? Stared into the quiet of a hospital room? If you have, you know the feeling. Everything becomes simple, real, urgent. That's the power of Memento Mori. It strips away the noise. No more pretending. No more wasting time. You suddenly realize the job you hate isn't worth another year. The words left unsaid are weighing on your chest. The dream you shelved is dying in the dark. But here's the thing. You don't need a tragedy to wake you up. You just need to remember every day that this ride is not forever. When you live with death beside you, you stop being careless with time. You stop postponing joy. You stop fearing risk. And in its place, you start showing up for your life. With urgency, not panic. With clarity, not confusion. Not because you want to die, but because you finally want to live. 5. Regret is the real death. Bronnie Ware, a palliative nurse, once recorded the most common regrets of the dying. The top ones? I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself. I wish I didn't work so much. I wish I expressed my feelings. I wish I'd stayed in touch. I wish I let myself be happier. None of them said, I wish I had more stuff. None of them said, I wish I had waited longer. They all point to the same truth. Death doesn't hurt as much as the life we didn't live. So what will your regrets be? Will you regret not taking that chance? Not reconciling with your family? Not pursuing your calling? Or will you be someone who used every breath fully? Memento Mori is a cure to regret. It brings your focus back to what matters. It silences distraction and centers your soul, because it reminds you don't have time to waste. 6. How to practice Memento Mori every day. So, how do you make Memento Mori part of your daily mindset without becoming morbid or negative? Here are 5 simple ways. 1. Journal daily. Each night, ask yourself, if I don't wake up tomorrow, did I live well today? It's not dramatic, it's real. It keeps you honest. 2. Carry a token. A Stoic coin. A symbol. Something physical to remind you. You are mortal, so act like it. 3. Practice negative visualization. Close your eyes and imagine losing something you take for granted. Your health, your loved ones, your freedom. Then open your eyes and see it all anew. 4. Start your day with death. Yes, start there. Wake up and say, today could be my last. Let me meet it with gratitude and strength. 5. Be present. That means, when you eat, taste. When you speak, mean it. When you love, show it. Because when you know it could all end tomorrow, you start living like you're here today. 7. The paradox of Memento Mori. Here's the paradox of Memento Mori. It's not about death. It's about love. When you remember that everything is temporary, you begin to love harder. The sunset matters more because you might not see it again. A simple hug becomes a memory in the making. A quiet moment alone becomes sacred. Most people numb themselves to this truth, and in doing so, they numb their joy. But the Stoics knew, to accept death is to unlock beauty. Because life is fragile, and that's what makes it precious. If we lived forever, nothing would be urgent. Nothing would be sacred. But because we don't, every breath is a gift. So the goal isn't to fear death. The goal is to honor life. Final message. Let me leave you with this. Memento Mori is not a message of fear. It's a message of awakening. Because one day, you will die. But every day, you have a chance to truly live. So stop postponing. Stop drifting. Stop waiting for the right moment. This is your life. Right now. Right here. Make it meaningful. Make it bold. Make it yours. Memento Mori and begin to live on purpose. Call to action. If this message moved you, share it. Let this be someone else's wake-up call too. Comment below. What's one thing you'll stop postponing? And subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, crafted to help you live with clarity, discipline, and purpose. Memento Mori. Let's live while we can.